Hi, welcome back. Uh, this is a lecture 17. If you have seen last lecture, we talked about the consciousness and meditation. And let me briefly repeat what we have talked about it. Lecture 16. I know it's very difficult to understand the consciousness. That's one of the difficult subjects, in fact, to discuss, or perhaps to help others to understand. I know how difficult it can be because consciousness is not something that you can touch and smell, and perhaps you can see. It has to do with the experience, and the only way you can experience is through meditation, basically. But that is the key, that's the fundamental, that's the basic. But you don't see a lot of people talking about the consciousness because it has to do with the experience. If you have the experience, perhaps you're able to talk about it. I may be talking in terms of language, in terms of I'm using words, but consciousness is beyond words. You see, the word that I'm using, the language that I'm using now to explain to you about the consciousness, the phenomena is this. I am right now using the consciousness, translating, let me say this, transforming the consciousness in terms of language. Okay, look, when I'm speaking, I'm using energy. And this energy perhaps is a combination of the diet what I ate, and obviously when your diet is being digested, obviously it changed to nutrient, and it changed to energy. And who does all these things? Well, perhaps the consciousness. And this energy with the consciousness, with the energy of the consciousness, it creates the reality of life that you're seeing, that you're smelling, that you are, all these things. But experiencing phenomena of the consciousness is absolutely a very tricky business. It's not something that you can grab very easily. That's why is a secret. That's why is you gotta grow with them. You gotta become mature. You gotta be very keen, alert to understand this phenomenon of the consciousness. Okay, now I'm using the combination of energy of the consciousness and the energy that I get what I eat. And this gives me energy to speak. Okay, now the words that we use, just speaking, I'm using tremendous energy of the consciousness. Okay, you see, there's billions of cells in my brain, basically creates a connection just speaking the language. See? So the trick here is this one, and we talked about last lecture, not transforming the energy to mind. Mind actually is a billion of words, because when I'm speaking, I'm connecting billions of cells in my brain, and this billion of cells, they need tremendous energy to create the sentence that I'm using as well as making this language that I'm speaking understandable. You see, so here is the game, here is the trick. When you are meditating, basically, what you are doing, basically, you are getting out the game of the language, game of using the words. Now you want to experience the purity of the energy. And this, my friend, is extremely difficult because we have been trained since we were child. We have been trained to use the language. So basically, we're living in a society where it's extremely important that you have to use the language. And now, this is the trick. When you're making connections, the cells in your brain, if you don't make a connections and you are meditating in very quiet mode, the connection is no longer there, and then the energy who's creating this connection is using the language. If you stop this connection, then that energy is the energy that we want to experience. You see how complex it can be, because it has to do with experience. If someone says to you, I will explain about the consciousness and enlightenment and how you can be enlightened, he's lying, because this has nothing to do with understanding. No, what I mean is that through language, it's not something that you can understand through language. It's something that you have to do it. You have to experience. Sit down and meditate. You see, the trick is that people, they want to know things in terms of being explained to them, and then they understand and they will apply how, and then that will work for them. That's not the way it works in experience enlightenment, because experience enlightenment is beyond all the scriptures, all the language, all the knowledge that is available in this earth, because the conscious creates everything basically in this earth. So now within yourself there's that spirit. The only way one can experience is by just simply be silent, do nothing. and that is, in our modern time, that is impossible to do. You see, that's not how we have been trained. We have been trained to sit in a class and the teacher lecture and we understand, and then we apply that how. But here is different ball game. We're not following the society, we are following our own path, and our own way of understanding and going within ourselves and experiencing the consciousness without even using the language. I know it can be very confusing. That's why the only person who can speak about these things is the person who has the experience. Otherwise, the other person, he's just speaking intellectually, the thing that he have read books. See, it has to do with the experience. There's no question about it. That's why they say that you have to find someone who has the experience. And this person, he's not trying to tell you things in intellectual ways, but by being with him, that experience will transfer to you in terms of a spirit, in terms of energy. You can see the vibration. Hopefully, we will talk about more about that. And next time I will talk about specifically what the mind is, and how the mind can playing game on you. Tricky is a duality of the mind. Take care of yourself. We will talk more about it. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.